Garm yelped, a strange sound from a dire wolf, and his claws skittered on the stone floor as he ducked back from the huge golem. Air also leapt back, her mallet before her. "No, nothing to fear," Snaff assured. He patted the golem's metalwork ankle. The leg was articulated with arrays of aura pumps and servos. "She's harmless," Snaff frowned. "Well, not exactly harmless. She could kill us with one swat if she wanted to, but she doesn't want to." "How do you know?" Air asked. "Because she doesn't want anything," Snaff explained. "No, let me show you." He scrambled up onto the stone table where the golem sat, clambering onto her leg, and climbed the metal piping that crisscrossed her barrel-shaped torso. Reaching the golem's face, Zodja's face, at 5 times the height, he waved his hand in front of the stone eyes. "See? Nobody's home." Garm trotted in a wide circle around the golem, watching it warily. Air had not lowered her mallet, and her other hand hovered near the chisels on her belt. "But why?" "Why what?" asked Snaff, lounging happily in the metal collar of the creature. "Why make this thing?" Snaff slid down the broad torso of the creature and landed on the thing's legs. "I just feel that every golem ought to have a good head on her shoulders, especially the 18-foot tall ones. Not that the Arcane Council agrees. They're churning out golems with no heads at all. Easy to build, sure, but they're dumb as posts. What's the point of that?" "He doesn't do anything the normal way," Zodja noted. Snaff glanced fondly at his creation. "I think I'll call her Big Zodja." Normal-sized Zodja stomped her foot and stared daggers at him. "And she'll have quite a ferocious look when she gets into combat." "Into combat?" Air asked. Snaff nodded. "She's a war machine." "War machine? Why not? Wars shouldn't be fought with flesh and blood. Somebody might get hurt. I'm hoping to revolutionize war. Make it the province of golems without people involved at all. Let them bash each other's brains out. The nation with the best golems wins." He gestured behind him to another stone table where a second metal warrior lay. "I'm what you call a philanthropist." Air laughed. "We pronounce it profiteer."
The dredge. They're fleeing in terror.
Why do I think that Zodja is responsible?
She could be in trouble. We need to find her.
Alright guys, we're back. I just took a break. Went and got myself a can of Fanta. I'm really scared. The next fight, literally down this ramp, is horrible. Welcome guys. We are back in the depths of Sorrow's Embrace. So hunting for Zodja and Kudu. I think we might be very close to Zodja, considering we just saw a ton of dredge fleeing for their lives, trying to get back up to the surface, calling her evil incarnate. The objective right now is to find Zodja. We are accompanied by Kaith and Air, and big reveals about Snaff and what really went down 5 years ago are coming up. The problem? I'm trying to not die, and we're doing the dungeon solo, and there is a hell of a challenge coming up. So, first, let's just take a peek what's down the ramp, and I guess there's no time like the present, but to just move on. Mechanism depot discovered.
Facing her?
No reward is worth facing her. We could kill these guys if we wanted, but there's no point. His flavor text is picks up weapons, but I'm not sure that really is relevant for anything. Here we get some spiders, which I'm going to clear out, because they might attack us at the worst possible time in a second. So let's kill these guys. Awesome. There you'll notice we got a ton of might, and you got to remember that about grenade barrage. If you can AoE and get a good grenade barrage, it is a 25 might fury generator for you, but you got to get it right. Okay, so yeah, there we have it down this crack among the pipes is Zodja.
He's here, isn't he? He's running things for the inquest.
We're not afraid of you.
Your fear is irrelevant. I know Kudu is here, and I'm here to stop him.
I will need more than mere brute. My advanced assault golem will destroy you all.
Okay, We're going to flee. So, that random inquest there, these assassins are going to kill Zodja, probably, unless maybe I can run really far away and snap her, which is the ideal situation to be in. This fight is really reliant on our allies, not because they do any damage, but because of the way in which the allies affect the AI of the thing we're going to be fighting. Do you remember the big golems we fought so far that do those rockets? Well, the next boss is a boss golem that has that same rocket attack. Almost impossible to see them flying at you through the air. Does ridiculous damage. I think he fires 3 or 4 at once, and that will be one shot. This boss basically will spike us to death instantly. So we've got to find a way of mitigating and dealing with that. Yeah, they managed to kill her. Zodja didn't fight back or come towards us or anything. So I'm going to use my rocket here. Now remember, the rocket is 1500 range. That means we can throw it further than grenades, and we can even fire it further than the rifle. Problem is, the further you try and move the rocket away, the higher into the air it has to arc. And it can hit stuff in the air. So we're going to pull them. That won't pull the boss. And you notice how Air and Keith move in? Oh, it did pull the boss. Crap. Oh dear, that's bad. Did it pull the boss, or is he just... Is he fighting the girls? The boss is coming. I need to move. This isn't good. This isn't good. This isn't good. Now, his rockets too have a crazy arc on them also. Come on, kill the inquest, guys. Have a crazy arc on them too. So there might be techniques of killing this boss by pulling him into that corridor so that all of his rockets hit the ceiling and just don't do anything. I'm running all the way back to make sure Kathan... look how low Air got already. Got to make sure they do that and that the boss gets bored and comes back. Now I'm going to try and res Zodja if I can. Remember, we can turn on Elixir R. And from range, res her. Some Guild Wars 1 style stuff here. By tossing that at her body. And it will slowly regenerate her up. It's on a pretty long cooldown though, so I'll see you in a second. I guess I could talk about some other stuff while we wait as well. It's an inquest specialist in a golem suit. So we do not need dredge slaying here. We need inquest slaying. And reducing the damage of the rockets that come in on us by 8% might be a lifesaver for us. And we got to basically, again, race to the death. So getting 9% more damage is good. This is one where I'm pretty sure the Salsa... I've had many runs die here just from random spike deaths. And maybe the Salsa might... It's not going to do anything. The Salsa's not going to do anything. Or it might... Oh, I don't know. We'll stay with the Salsa. Fine, we'll stay with this. Let me raise Zodja now. Alright, she's at 85%, so I think that's okay. We can go back to our grenade kit now. There's no need to use mines or anything on this one. It won't pull in that way. It's not going to be beneficial, really, because it's going to be a long fight, and the mines give you, like, a tiny, tiny, tiny bit at the start. So the main mechanic we're dealing with is these rockets. Now, here's the funny thing. If someone is trying to melee the Golem Specialist Noko, she will, instead of firing rockets, trigger herself into an animation where she splashes, like, ridiculous death around her feet. And while she's doing that, she's not using the rockets. So the game here is to do as much damage as possible while she's busy doing the AoE thing and getting Keith killed and Air killed and Zodja killed and my turrets killed. After that point, the rockets will be constantly coming and we'll have to find another way to deal with it. Maybe we can drop a turret, run away from him, break aggro, and then get back in with the girls alive again. It might be a real mess here if things don't go right. The other really balls deep technique you can use is you can walk over to Noko yourself, trigger the point blank AoE animation, and then run away, and then she's not doing rockets or hitting you, but then you have to stay really close and dip in and out perfectly, and that's got me killed more times than it's helped me, so I'm not going to be doing that. Zodja, we're just going to run over now, we're going to res her, and we're going to start the fight. Immediately opening with a supply crate, which should cause him to register enemies near him and use the close thing straight away. Oh god, I just reflected myself there. That was pretty bad. So, yeah, we're going to stand back here. And the more we can do... Okay, yeah, so that's his other attack. It's lightning. There's the AoE. Right, so that's fine. Because all that's doing is damage in the area. There is no break path that we can't, we can't delay the inevitable. Zodja's dead there. The lightning is a problem, but we can reflect the lightning with well-timed turrets. And... what we can do... Okay, there's the rockets. What we can do... He's on me fully right now. There's more rockets there. No, not rockets. That was lightning. Let's pull back here. Is every time we get hit by the lightning, we can pick up some med packs, basically. Let's see how this feels here. The supply crate's still up. So hopefully he stays on that. There, those rockets. More lightning. I don't know, guys. This is pretty bad because our damage is a lot lower than it used to be. There's more lightning there. That's a rocket attack. Question is, can they hit us like this? He has the reflect phase, obviously. Kaith and Air are still here, which is great. If we move too far away, he'll break aggro and run off. So here I'm walking back in to pick up the medkit. There's the AoE going onto Air, which is good. My tool belt rockets aren't going to do anything right now because he's under that roof.
Feedback loop initiated.
Let's drop this and blow up our rifle turret. We'll want that in a better position in a minute. Ow. Okay. If he hits you with one of those, you need to leave because more will be coming very, very quickly. Okay. I don't really need to talk the whole way through this. We'll just see how it goes. You know the whole fight, and it's a mess, and it's horrible and scary. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here, everyone's dead. Kate's been forced away. My turrets are still up, so I'm running all the way over here to break combat, get my health back while the boss is still fighting. The problem is I never move far enough away to res the girls, which kind of sucks. We'll see what he does now. I'm not entirely sure. Which animation is that? I mean, I can vaguely keep hitting him. Okay, trying this technique of keeping all the turrets up is doing okay. I have so much muscle memory for firing that rocket, and it doesn't mean anything. Is okay. The thing is that what the lightning will do is it will blow them all up, and probably at once, because the lightning rips through them and bounces through them. So it might not be too smart. We're doing all right, though. It seems to be getting through. I haven't been hit by a rocket for a while. And something over there. I think the spawning of my rock there. There's one. I should have blown up my turret to get some blast cleanses and things there. Let's go for the combat break. And then we can run back in with the med kits now. Okay, so here the problem is I'm really far away. He might reset now. Because he killed the turret when I was far away. Come on, we gotta re-attack him before he leaves. And he gets all of his health back. Okay, now we can start reflecting again. 16%, come on. Rifle turret back. Oh god, the game thought I was trying to res Kaith instead of breaking my rifle turret, which is not the ideal situation to be in. Now, it's important to note as well, I could run flame turret. Flame turret has a lower cooldown than the rocket turret, so I can chain between my turrets much more effectively and maintain more reflect uptime. But the rocket turret is generally better for some of the other engagements where break bars are relevant and stuff. You'll notice we do a lot when we get the lightning reflect. Oh, we're actually going to get him. This is good. There we go. Nice. Oh. All right. He's one of the hard... They're all hard encounters here. They're all hard.
Keith, what are you doing here? And why did you bring that Norn with you?
Kaith told me you came down here. I was worried about you.
Worried that the little apprentice couldn't handle herself?
That's not what I meant.
Or maybe you were just hoping to see another Asura die. Is that it?
Wow.
I just came here to help.
Your help gets people killed. I don't need it, and I don't need you.
Fine. If you don't need me, I'll leave you to your petty vengeances.
Zojja, don't be foolish.
No, she's right. You don't need me. No one really needs me, do they? Come, Garm.
Let her go, Kaith. She knows I'm right. She's lost her nerve. What good is she?
I thought you were smarter than this, Zojja.
I am. And we've got more important things to worry about. We need to find the inquest and, more importantly, find their leader.
Ah, you idiots!
Quickly, destroy the mechanism.
Yes, and then let's get out of here.
Oh god, the dredge are talking over there. I'm not quite sure about what exactly. We'll see in a second. Air bails, and once again, I mean, we got Kaith and Zojja together now, I guess. Really unfortunate. The dialogue doesn't actually update, so you can't communicate with Kaith. I feel like in every other dungeon, it does update after a pivotal moment like that. It doesn't. We get Zojja to speak to, And she says, if you're coming along, you're going to have to keep up, mentally and physically. She's such a different, like, much more bitter, angry side than we see her in the personal story. Why are we down here, Zodja? My master's discoveries are being sold to humans in Kryder. Kudu and the inquest are behind it. There you go. Sold to humans in Kryder. So, Cordicus's manor, it seems it was related to this. Kudu? A fraud, a swindler with a snake's heart. The most twisted mind in the inquest. He stole my master's discoveries. Okay then, let's deal with him. I know Kudu, don't worry. Why are you mad at Air? Don't talk to me about that Norn. If you want to know, then you can ask Kaith, okay? Then I will, but Kaith doesn't update! So, yeah, and I feel really bad for Air in this one. You know, the Ritlock and Logan stuff, I kind of, you know, you get it, but you don't feel too bad. Air was just being nice. She was genuinely putting her life on the line to help someone out, and Zodja was horrible about it. I mean, really horrible. But hey, okay, cool. So, deeper into the furnace we go. Fully down the ramp now. This is where we would have been fighting the boss if we were a normal team. Get the grand chest as a reward. Some bags of coins and things. How's our inventory doing? We're okay. And we'll be facing some dredge again here. So I'm going back to the dredge potion on this one. And we're going to come over to this gate. Our objective is to move through here.
They've sabotaged the doors. I can fix it, but we need cogs. I saw another door over beyond the crushers. We can use cogs from there.
I saw those crushers when we were coming in. They look fairly treacherous.
The dredge don't worry about occupational safety. Just be careful around them.
Zodja dealing with machines while Kaith is attentive enough to the environment to scout ahead and be sneaky. Love it. Okay. And yeah, you don't even get, like, dialogue here for the fact that, you know, we're in the middle of a bit of an event. So goal is to get through this door. All this machinery, we examine it, and it just says the door mechanism's been sabotaged and leave it alone. Well, as an Asura, I'm sure we can do something to fix that. Look at these cool machines and things. Our main objective is to find the inquest headquarters. So we know the inquest are here now. The question is, where are they headquartered? How deep down? So this is not really a full-on boss fight. It's a cool mini-event, though. There we can see that there's a dredge APC that comes out of the ground, and that's going to keep spawning mobs. We're going to equip Elixir S, which you guys have seen before, which can be tossed at our feet to stealth us and drank to make us invulnerable. What we're going to do with Elixir S, oh, that hurt, is, let's blow that up as well, is we are going to sneak past all of the infinitely respawning dredge. You might be like, oh, WP isn't that cheesy to do that. They are infinitely respawning, and there's a mining suit there as well, which continuously spawns dredge out of it until you kill it, and then more mining suits appear afterwards. So what we're going to do is grab cogs from over there, come over to the wall, and repair it. But one cog is not enough. That's bad. So here I'm going to interrupt that, and we have to kill what it spawned.
Accelerate!
I'll talk more about the mechanics of mining suits in a second. Very attentive players might be interested, but we're going to keep going. And yeah, so the complications with this is the more cogs you run to try and build the machine, the more spawns tend to be here because they continue to ramp. And also you get these crushers. These crushers are really cool. That was a bad Elixir S. It didn't actually save us from anything. Let's stealth up here. The crushers are really cool in that they are a callback to Guild Wars 1. Environmental mechanisms like that. When Soros, remember I said that the original iteration of this in the original game was the first time the devs had ever done dungeons. Oh, this is bad. We have to kill this mining suit here, or it's going to spawn an army and get all the girls killed. I just wasted all my endurance there as well. We're going to have to supply crate here. We got knocked down. Yeah, dredge are pretty dangerous when they do that. Luckily, we got healed because the supply crate's healing turret buffed me up. Ow, that guy hurts. Take him out. Again, he infinitely respawns. The idea is that they don't follow you all the way back here. And the idea is certainly not that they stay in combat, infinitely spawning assistants because of Kaith and Zodja. Normally, you don't have to do any fighting at this bit at all. But I have to deal with this. The girls don't do enough damage to take out a normal mob, let alone a freaking mining suit. And if you can see here, it actually spawned an elite disaggregator, who's kind of scaring me right now, because if he does... disaggregators have horrible sonic abilities. Those big cones and things. So let's stay back here. Let's create something of a bunk town for ourselves. You notice he's buffing himself massively as well. All that protection stuff takes it a lot longer to grind through him. Oh, mining suit spawning an elite. That's horrible. Okay, down he goes. Hopefully Kaith will res Zodja. Her AI might not make her do it, but it's not a big problem. Actually, I don't want to miss out on any dialogue, so let's res her up. I don't know whether we will, but let's get her up. So yeah, basically, the crushers are one thing. And it's just a cool callback to the original game where you saw them a lot more. The original game, the pace of the movement and stuff was such that this was a much more like valid mechanic to be playing around with, to be honest. In Guild Wars 2, they're trivial to get around. It's not just this as an obstacle though, as you're running cogs. The other obstacle is up on this platform at the very top. You got these 3 guys. They're all elites, and that's why they hit so hard. But this guy's a champion at the top. Luckily, we can drink Elixir S and keep carrying what? How did we drop it? That's not how that goes. We can carry a cog in Elixir S while we're mini. I've done it a million times before. The champion got rid of the cog somehow. What? Oh, that's frustrating. One of the advantages usually is all the mobs chase you to the edge of this cliff, and then when you jump down the cliff, they don't jump down after you. They can't do that in Guild Wars 2, so they have to run all the way back through like so, and you get away, especially if you have a stealth. Ugh, I guess we'll stealth second then. They're really chunking me, and it's scaring me. We could also precast our heal because of our healing burst, if you remember, which gives us protection, but then we don't have the heal to pick our health back up later, so that's kind of a funny thing. All right, let's run through. Honestly, this is like a 5-minute engagement, and it's taking ages in the video. All right, I think we'll be good. I guess I will still Elixir a second. We just have to stealth before these guys know we're even around, like that. There we go. Okay, so we grabbed the cog while we were in mini mode, and now we've still got it. Okay, good. And they didn't even bother chasing us. So this is the 3rd and hopefully final cog. I think you only need to run 3. Let's see. I love if that even feels like a stationary part of the wall, and then you realize it's a giant piston. That's so cool. All right, guys.
There we go. Mechanism fixed. Gate open.
Let us go then.
Zodja did have some dialogue. We might have missed that. So, another big central area. I think a recreation of a Guild Wars 1 place. This is one of the largest rooms you have seen in dungeons yet. This place is enormous, and you get some fantastic information about the dredge here.
By the tree. It is full of dredge.
Looks like some sort of major speech.
You think we can go around?
Now this is
Or
a
fight our way
fight.
through?
Check out the mortar cannons on the ledges. We should take care of them before they take care of us. The inquest base should be on the far side of all this. Let's clear a path through those dredge and find it.
We, the dredge people, have succeeded where so many have failed. We have thrown off the shackles of our masters and rose to dominate their former lands. They have fled before our rising power into the depths and leave to us their ruin.
Talking about the dwarves.
And it is with this in mind that I, Sukhov, say to you, the great unwashed masses of the dredge, that we begin a brave new era. For too long we have remained apart from the world, protected, afraid to engage with others. Yet now we have the opportunity to move forward. You have seen Asura in our hall. You have seen their golems patrolling with our troops. You have seen advisors from the inquest in...
No, 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 no!
All of this is the beginning of the new era, of the great opening of the world for the dredge people. With this great opening, we will spill from our mountain homes, and with the aid of our new allies, we'll come to dominate the lesser races of this land. With the aid of the inquest, as their first chosen of allies,
Vitality restored!
Conquer the Norn and Char, humble the Silvari, and put the ancient humans in their place. We will succeed, and we will dominate.
Okay. Oh, I'm so miserable that speech just got interrupted. Oh, what? These dredge just didn't even give us a chance there. It's okay. I'll edit subtitles on screen for you guys or something so you can actually see. My God. Oh, okay. I tried hard, guys. I put the music volume back down so the combat wouldn't do anything. I tried to turn off all the game sound effects. But yeah, basically, the dredge are rising up. They're talking about taking out the Char, humbling the Silvari, all of that stuff they care about. It's brilliant. It's very, very cool. But if we can stop the inquest who are supplying them with weapons and whatnot, hopefully it will be fine. This is the most antagonistic and large-scale villainous that you see the dredge get, really. And it's kind of beautiful. Now, this is a hell of a room. I love everything about this room. It's so big, it's so open, it feels so grand. And it is full of dredge and inquest. I mean, truly full. You also got a good perspective there of how much damage just each individual rifle shot does, by the way. So fighting 4 of them at once, as we did at the start, you can see why it was so tricky. The devs kind of took pity on the player base here, though. If this was Guild Wars 1, the whole mechanics of the game would be structured that you kind of have to fight your way through. As Guild Wars 2 is concerned, because stealths are available, because we move so much faster than things, because we can climb up and down walls and things, and mobs have to path around, it's actually fairly trivial to sneak through this room, and that's what we're going to do. Zodja was right, though. Where are the girls? Are they dead? No, Keith is stuck over there. That's kind of scary. Oh, no, please tell me she didn't bug. There's a bug in this where she stands all the way back here forever. I hope she didn't bug. If she did, I have to redo the whole dungeon. But yeah, if you move her back there, the game is so broken that it thinks the old event's going on and she locks there. We will see. I hope that that's not going to be a big deal. Zodge is still following us at least. Right, we're going to sneak through this room. And we are going to have to be careful of the cannons. That's what I was trying to say. Zodge is right that the cannons are a big problem. So let's see what we've got. We're going to go this way. We're going to jump shot. And we're going to just try to not get too near too many elites. And they are everywhere, guys. I mean, honestly, it's no exaggeration. There's a cannon. The cannons do knockbacks and all sorts of nasty stuff. So we're going to get over this. And we're going to come down here. Good. Here you'll find we're at the POI, Molnin's tomb. So there are dredge graves down here. Molnin being a prominent figure amongst the dredge. Now, this was an NPC you met in the original game as just a random collector in Sorrow's Furnace originally. But when Guild Wars 1 got the expansion Eye of the North, Molnin became a bigger character with more quest dialogue and stuff. And basically, he was a guy fighting for dredge freedom against the dwarves while the dwarves were still around. And, yeah, kind of you can imagine how over 250 years that guy would become a figurehead, and this is supposedly his tomb, as the dredge have now declared within Sorrow's Furnace. I have a lot of respect for ArenaNet showing a cool story here, and that's the idea that Molnin had a very justified cause, becomes a martyr, becomes revered, and now things have become a little bit warped 250 years later, and the pendulum has swung too far. Not much media I consume really deals with stuff like this, and they do a bit with the dredge. Good. This is the platform where Shukov is. We don't want to be standing here. And look at this. Look at these armies. Ooh, God, look at these armies in front of him. They are all fightable. They are all, you know, enemies that we will have to deal with. I'm going to come all the way back to the back of the room here. Ouch. How did he hit me with that? That's such crap. There's no way he had line of sight on that. And sneaky, hopefully out of range of the cannons and not having aggroed them, we're going to blow up these two inquest golems guarding the far side. And let's see if Keith came. Keith did not come.
We may be outfought, but we will never be beaten. We will return with greater numbers. We fall back for now, but the dredge people will thrive against all enemies.
So yeah, there, when you get through the door, I didn't really mean to, I was going to try and do that after the fight. When you get through the door, he has a little bit of dialogue saying, oh no, you've killed us all, because the idea being, you know, you might have slaughtered your way through that room. It is a little bit of a trick for what it's worth. Most of these, as you can see, their level is in green. They're only level 56, so you can kind of blow them up really quickly there. That's why I went to the door, because the friggin' things are really dangerous. There's our auto smoke bomb defense as well, by the way. So yeah. No, Keith. Do we try this next engagement? The next one is a challenge all of its own, but we're about to get some really big lore with it. Let me just put it this way. We're going to be in a defense mission where we have to keep Zodja alive for as long as possible. Oh, Keith might move forward, because if we can get the cutscene to trigger, Keith will move forward and we'll be fine. We're going to get a lot of big lore right here. Big lore. So enjoy, guys, and then I'm going to have to wrap out exactly what I'm doing on the back of the cutscene. Looks like a dead end, guys. Where do we go?
This gate is just locked, not broken. I can get through this in no time.
Keith, Zodja was cruel to Air. Why does she hate her so?
Zodja hates Air. Ritlock and Logan hate each other. And all because long ago, we made a horrible mistake.
Long ago?
Once we fought together as one. Myself, Ritlock, Logan, Air and her wolf, Snaff and his apprentice. We called ourselves Destiny's Edge. We were the best the world had seen. We fought dragon minions from the Sea of Sorrows to the Crystal Desert. We encountered Glint. She was a legendary creature that served Kralkatorek, the Crystal Dragon, until she betrayed her master. Kralkatorek awoke, and flew south to slay its traitorous lieutenant, leaving devastation in its wake. We stood beside Glint, ready to face an elder dragon. Logan was suddenly called away. We were weakened, but Air thought we could still stand and fight. Air was incorrect. We were defeated. Kralkatorrik killed Glint. We lost Snaff as well.
So there we have it, laid out in plain English with a badass cutscene.
And they all blame each other.
And Air blames herself. She lost more than a friend that day. I've tried to bring them back together, without success. I know I am missing something, but what?
Perhaps they need to come to terms with themselves before they can come to terms with each other.
All right.
This door is going to take longer than I thought. Watch out for hostiles.
You get the door. We'll keep you safe.
I will talk all about that story very soon, but first we're going to be forced into this. Zodja is going to be busting down this door. It's our job to defend her. Kaith did move forward. That's excellent. Once again, dialogue doesn't update. Very disappointing after that cutscene. And so our job is to defend her. Now, the really important thing we need to do is run Elixir R. Yes, Elixir R is going to be crucial for us to get through this. Actually, no, not yet. That's fine. Let's go... Yeah, let's stick with the rocket turret. We're going to be getting attacked by mobs, as you can see. And let's get on in. What am I on? I'm on dredge potion. That's perfect. You'll notice here that we have a huge wave of enemies and a mining suit. The mining suits are super, super dangerous. They are big problems. Every time they bow down, what they're going to do is start trying to spawn allies. They also do crazy damage if I let him punch me, so I have to pull back. They're going to start spawning allies. So I need to watch through this fight while I try to deal with everything. I have to kill them first as more waves are coming in, and I have to CC this. If I don't do it quick, and there's one. I've got a supply crate to interrupt that. I think he got a spawn off. If I don't do it in time, the swarm numbers are going to get ridiculous. I have to keep everything happy and okay for Zodja for as long as possible before basically we are going to lose this. Here's an elite inquest who's come. So when the mining suits are on cooldown, the inquest come up. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Medpacks. Thank you. While the mining suits are off, the inquest is in. So you've got to take the inquest out. But if you don't do it quick enough, beautifully, and I love the design here because it's real, you know. It's a defense mission where it's not holding your hand. The mining suit can come up too. There you go, he's up. We didn't quite get there in time. I'm going to use overcharge shot to interrupt that guy in the background there before anything dangerous happens. And now we got to focus on the mining suit again. We have to do this
Invigorating.
pretty much for ages. You'll notice the unlock progress for Zodja back there is still in progress. This time we won't have a supply crate for the second interrupt, so I just hope that our overcharge shot will be okay. Can take that bomber out. There it is. Overshot charge it is there. Good, we got that. Excellent. We're doing all right here. We're doing all right. I don't know what it is about this, but this run's been going good, guys. So, yeah, we'll just keep rolling. Those knockdowns are really dangerous. I'm going to drop my supply crate there just in case, or my med pack drop, just in case we have serious danger coming up soon. Just narrowly avoided his punch there, which is essentially a one-shot. I do have Elixir R the whole way, which is crazy. We can, another interrupt. We can, here we go. So this, for example, I need the heals now. Zodja's very, very, very close to unlocking the door. We are getting surrounded. Now is the moment where I'm going to start to bail away. More mobs here. Once Zodja finishes that, though, we win. So, and all the mobs will despawn. So, as long as we can get this mining suit down,
6 feet tall,
and these guys keep following us, Zodja should finish it off. Come on, Zodja. Finish the door, sweetheart. Finish the door! I think we're actually okay because there's only 2. The thing is, she's going to be getting swarmed because I never took tons of aggro with me. Is she coming? Ah, okay, so she died. Right, so this is why we're running Elixir R. What we do is from range, throw Elixir R to start rezzing her body. And you'll notice that red bar now, that's her downstate health. And it's our job to keep nipping in and out. We can keep fighting. I have to cancel cast the creation of the rocket turret there because it's not going to be able to CC in time. We have to keep fighting at the door and hope that this whole thing is manageable from this end and the future spawns aren't going to completely destroy us. And then when Elixir R comes back up, we can throw it back on her body. We have to do that 3 times in a row to res her. Then she'll get the last tick. The fact that we almost did it without Elixir R at all is really, really making me quite happy because usually it takes like 2 phases of that. But I guess it depends how the scaling and the gear works. Right now, this has been easier somehow. The suits are going down much quicker than I expected. In most of my tests, I have to fight a suit and an inquest at the same time.
Restored.
Let's do this. The other thing I was umming and ahhing about is you can actually do the fight without Elixir R and then break combat, right? So I'm pretty combat breakable right now and only swap it on there like that, for example, later when it's absolutely necessary. The devs never added a mechanic to Guild Wars 2 that allows you to cleave NPC bodies as they're being rezzed. Players in downstate, well no, it's defeat, isn't it? Yeah, they just never added a mechanic for it. So there's nothing like frozen ground like Guild Wars 1 had or whatever. We can just keep rezzing and through attrition get this done. So our cooldown is up here, and in the interest of time efficiency,
It's diminished.
I'm gonna go straight over. And beautifully, because the range on this skill is so high, I don't aggro the mobs either. So that's perfect. All right, perfect. Whew, last one. And what I'm going to do now as well is as I throw that, I'm going to aggro these guys so that when she stands up... Oh, wait, what happened to her health there? Why is it so much lower? This is interesting. What? I thought was that really it?
I'm nigh.
Okay, hold on. We're going to brute force this. This is really, really silly and risky what I'm doing right now. Case down as well. Hopefully they stick on the turrets. Good, we got 1 reflect. Good. All right, Zodja, finish that off, please. Because I got a mining suit, here we go, and an extinguisher coming. They will knock me down and everything. Come on! What are you doing?
The door's open. Get inside, quick.
Ugh. Thank you. Okay. So the only mobs that will be left... Okay, no, it's despawnable. I thought the only mobs that might be left were the summons from the mining suit. Ah, we're there. Okay, thank Christ for that. So, yeah, let's talk about the cutscene. Brilliant, isn't it? It depicts regions of the world we haven't seen. Everything you saw there basically is the novel, Edge of Destiny. Hopefully at some point, I will have an audiobook of that on the channel for you guys to listen to. So if you're watching this video a long time after it came out, maybe check out my playlist and you can listen to it. You can pick up the novel yourself. You'll see all of that stuff firsthand. We get our first physical depiction of Snaf in game that we've seen on the series so far. And, you know, it really fills in those gaps. It feels to me, you'll notice a kind of a weird thing. One of the incongruencies, one of the issues that the story had was I feel like the devs wanted... in the dungeons for it to be a big secret. Oh, what happened to these people? And then we find out, and it's a big aha moment. That's what the dungeons were trying to do. But the rest of the game was kind of trying to assume we knew what happened or was skirting around it. You know, it's like human players learn what happened through Logan, but he's very, like... boring about how he describes it, and it's just thrown up there in the throne room towards the end, while Asuran characters don't really get anything from Zodja, while, you know, so depending on the race you pick, you might only have some piece of the puzzle. It's like the devs didn't know whether they were coming or going on when we should know about Destiny's Edge. So, what they've done is, at least in this dungeon, at least eventually, by the time you get to this point, the devs will assume from this point forward, you all know the backstory of Destiny's Edge. Air made a plan, Logan had to leave, the plan fell apart, Zodja's mentor got killed, and a dragon ally of ours, Glint, also got killed. Kraukatoric to this day, hanging at the base of the brand, way down here. This all happened 5 years ago when the brand was created at this area here in the Crystal Desert. So, yeah, kind of a very, very cool cutscene, and I love how cinematic that is. Fun stuff. Unfortunately, we don't get to... you know, talk a bit more about it with these guys. Another encounter done as well. That's a tricky one to solo. The trickiness continues, but we're getting close now. We are. We're about 3... I know it sounds like a lot. We're about 3 encounters from the bottom of the dungeon. Let's not lose our minds, though. We were here looking for Kudu and the inquest. What's going on here? Ah, inquest base KD4 discovered. And the music just got a little bit creepy. Kudu, I see you there. Bract is back.
Kudu! I knew you were behind all of this.
Obviously. Who else could bend the dredge to my will? Not you, of course. You were never that smart.
You're using Snaff's discoveries for evil.
Zojja, please. I was smarter than Snaff when you were still playing with blocks. I think he'd be proud to see what I've done with his theories about dragon energy.
Snaff would never approve of such things. I'm here to stop you.
Oh, I see I've hit a nerve. Fancy that. Still protective of our old master, eh? You should see what I'm building down here. Pity that my golems will destroy you first and you'll die in ignorance.
Oh, well, Guild Wars 1 players might have a sense of what he could be building down here. It's Kudu, guys, and it's boss fight time. So, as much as I'd love to just do the fight and explain as I go, again, there's enough moving pieces that I'll have to go slowly. Now, Kudu is an engineer like us. It says throws grenades and summons golems. What's going to happen is every time we get him to a new health threshold, he's gonna run away and hide, and he's going to summon a golem. The golems are ridiculously dangerous and each have their own stories, which we'll tell as we get to them. But it's important to know that when Kudu hides and summons one, he moves up to this platform here, near this surrogate he's built, and he continues fighting. He uses his regular abilities, even though he's invulnerable. So, what we're going to do is once he's hiding on the platform, and the golem's up, we're going to have to make the golem move away from him, because otherwise we're getting 2v1'd, and it's basically going to be impossible to solo. So, dealing with his actual abilities, reflects once again are extremely worthwhile. I'm not going to use the rocket turret this time. We're going back to the flamethrower because I want to juggle through these as best as I can. He has a perfectly valid break bar, which we will use to increase our damage time as much as possible. These two will probably be killed in the meantime. It's a cool room here as well, isn't it? So, yeah, let's just get started. Oh, that's the flamethrower. I guess we'll pock some incendiary ammo there. You know, when I was editing yesterday's video, it sounded like I was saying arrow for some reason. I swear, I don't know why my brain would do that. Here we go. Right. Starting off with a supply crate on his face, because hopefully he'll target those instead of me, and the reflects go up there. So he's moved away. So here you can see he's got a pistol main hand. This is one of his big abilities here. He successfully got it on us. He uses glue shot, which is pistol offhand. I showed you a long time ago. Let's throw some napalm on him. But as he uses glue shot, the glue homes in on us like this, and it immobilizes us, setting us up to be burst afterwards. The glue itself doesn't do any damage, but it will lock you in place for the grenades, which do a lot of damage. You can reflect the glue also as well for what it's worth. What I'm going to try and do is either dodge the glue or make sure I have reflects up for the right time. The first phase, though, with all of our cooldowns, should be pretty easy. He's going to go and hide now. There's his big nuke. And he's going to go hide at 75% health. Yes, he hits us with this thing here, Snapshot, you can see on the bottom left. Big damage. Got to be careful of that. Immobin to Snapshot is the big danger. The fact that did over 50% of my health scares the crap out of me. Right. So, like I said, we don't want to be hit by him while he's up there. We're going to fight the golem on its own now. I need to get all of my reflect cooldowns back because reflect is basically the main game for every single one of these engagements. Let's go back to our inquest slaying as well now to sort of defend ourselves a bit more from these. All right, supply crate's almost back up. What you'll notice here is I've put the rocket turret back on this time because I want to break his break bar as best as I can, and the rocket turret will be good for that, and it's good for aggroing at 1500 range, so Kudu doesn't get to hit us, as long as it doesn't hit the ceiling, as always, I keep saying. The other thing is, looking at his flavor text here, he has an unstable shield that damages attackers, so what you'll see is there's like a lightning ring that appears around him, and if we keep throwing grenades at him, it's like mega retail, and because grenades, we do lots of little packets of damage, it kind of counters us, so we want to be cautious of that. So what we're going to do here is we are going to throw the rocket up. Ow, it hit the ceiling again. Whatever. Let's use our hip shot then. And we're going to try and pull him. Come on, hip shot. Come on. That's it. We got it. We got it. Now we're going to pull him without Kudu being able to hit us. So here, this is his shield, the unstable shield. We don't want to hit him particularly during that. And we're going to stay as high range as possible on this guy because he is kind of hell. Let's keep the immob on him, break his break bar, and we're going to take his advantage of this. I'm not going to rocket turret yet because his break bar is down, and I want the overcharge of it to blow us up later. So here's his thing. We'll wait for the shield to run out. I'm going to use my med pack supplies on here. Luckily, he's on the turrets more than anything else right now. Now we rocket turret. And we immob with the rifle. I'll even overcharge shot him there, like so. We don't have an elixir to give ourselves stab right now. We're going to keep reflecting like so. You can see there's just crazy damage we're getting splashed on all the time here. This is because we struck his electric shield, and what it does is it puts basically a damage over time on you, I think, maybe. I don't know, it's lots of little packets. We just don't want to get hit by too much of this stuff. Once again, we're going to be out of reflect in a moment. Let's break his bar again. Did we get it? We should, with that immob. Good. Staying back. Bunker down, continuing to drop our med packs here. There, he's doing it again. Here I'm going to press F1 and blow up my heal turret to get a blast finisher and a bit of value so that I can replace it afterwards, later. Another break bar, immob, run that. And with this, okay, now the girls are dead, so we've got to be quick on this now. Luckily, he's only on 6%. We got reflects ready again. Good, down he goes. Okay, now the second the golem dies, Kudu's pissed, all right? And what you want to do is run away and basically break combat. Just get a nice clean break, and we'll resurrect Air and Kaith. There, one of them snapped already. There you go. Not Air and Kaith, sorry, Zodja and Kaith. Air ran away. Yeah, once we've done that, you'll notice that Kudu doesn't 100% regen. We got him to 74, and that's legitimate. They're fine. The reason he's at 74 instead of 75, by the way, is because of our Rampager's gear and condition damage. He kept taking damage on the platform because of the condies, even though he's invulnerable. Right, so, yeah, now we're going to wait for the supply crate, and we're going to do another phase. Kudu's abilities don't change. The main fear, once again, is just going to be snapshot. So we'll watch for that, and we'll move on. Let's start off with some more incendiary ammo this time. Don't forget that that is buffed because we're running the trait for it at the moment. Back to the rifle turret. Let's try another rocket. Go on. Nah, I'm too close under the thing. It's fine, though. When it's just him, you don't have to, like, be so scared with the aggro. It's not like there's a golem ranging us right now. So there you can see I've reflected the glue. And here you'll see I'm going to cycle through my turrets. And if we can reflect a snapshot on him, which I've messed up here, we're not going to be able to because we're going to get right away from that.
Accelerate!
My range is a bit crappy right now, so I'm going to just stay back here. If we can reflect a snapshot, it's really, really good. So we're going to watch for when he turns to us and then create the turret. He turned to us and now he's gone back again. That's fine. He's coming down to 50. Just basically hiding as far away as we can. We got the Asura gate waypoint. Gate Kino Decker 4. Where are his gates going to? That's always the thing to wonder when it comes to the Asura. 54%. I can't really hit him because he's on that plateau. There you go. We got his grenade back. CCing him. So there, he got the emote, but it didn't matter. Okay, that's pretty bad. That's super bad. Pull him back. Okay, next golem's up. This is the prototype F4 golem. So its attacks cause burning, and if you condition it, it will heal itself by purging them. Purge condition's actually been a Guild Wars 1 skill. He also fires these lava fonts, and if you... I kind of want to demonstrate. Basically, he is a ridiculous damage nuke. I'll just put it that way very, very shortly and very comfortably for you all. If you let him hit you with these, and he's got a barrage ability as well, you're a goner. Like, 100 to 0, it's awful. He also has, like... you'll see that these missiles coming directly at us, but we can generally avoid those by tapping left and right, like so. So just don't stand near him. If you're in point-blank range of him, and he uses one of his things, basically this animation here, but when he casts like 5 or 6 of them together, you die. But we can reflect, as you guys have seen. And as long as he doesn't create the lava fonts under us, this one shouldn't be so bad. Valid break bars again. Now, it's important to note now that I'm in this situation, unlike Kudu, who doesn't regenerate health by the nature of the way that he works, all the golems will. So here we can, once again, you'll see how the CC lines up with the reflect, thus making the reflect a bit pointless on this turret. And the long cooldown to boot. So yeah, now that I'm in on this, I kind of have to stick with this. As long as we keep collecting med packs, we should be fine. I cast that in a really bad place. The closer we are, the less chance we have of sidestepping what he's offering. So we'll stay like this. There you go. Okay, so he just cleansed his condies at 50% health there. and maybe got a tiny heal. But I think that's phase-based, and he won't keep proccing it, so we will just be able to grind him down. That bit of flavor text about purge conditions probably doesn't mean too much. Here we can get a good CC. Keep lining him up. Now, I've got supply crate back, so... with the original one having been dropped on Kudu way back before. So, what we'll do is we'll wait for his brake bar to recharge, and mob him straight away, and then supply crate on him, and overcharge shot him. I'm getting really low, though. This is pretty bad. So, here, what I'm going to go for is the combat break.
Accelerate!
We're going to run away. Because all my turrets are there, I will break combat, but he will continue killing my turrets. Thus meaning I should be able to regenerate, sort of-ish. We got the girls back up at least. Come on. All right, fine. We'll just use med packs to heal. Really, we're just buying time for our cooldowns. There we go. And now we can move back in. Really big advantage of playing an engineer in this kind of content. The devs definitely don't want people doing that, really. To be able to flee and come back. Usually that's why they put the heavy regeneration on enemies as a counter. But our turrets fix that because he's still fighting the turrets. So there you go. Good. Kudu back again. We should be able to just grind straight through him. I'm getting a bit bold here, though. The third and final golem just coming up, and it is the hardest one. You notice we got a steel chest on the floor there. We're going to want to open that, see what's in it. Dodging the glue at the perfect time. See, I don't want to kill him too close. I don't like him going all the way in there to Zodra and Kaith. Probably a snapshot coming in a second, so we want to be careful. Let's try that. Alright, last golem. Prototype T4 golem. Leaves poison trails, pulls enemies, attacks cause poison and bleeding. Okay, this guy is horrible. He's got a horrific barrage, much like the flame guys, except it's poison oriented now, and it does about... you didn't even see the most that the flame barrage guy can do. This one does about double even that. It's really, really, really dangerous. So naturally, I'm going to aggro with no cooldowns, possibly the last big risk of the whole dungeon. And we'll see what we do. So there's Kudu fighting us. We got to let Kaith and Co die there. We can't do anything about this. There you go. This here? Yeah, that. We stay away from that. Here he's doing it again. And if we're far enough away, it should just go over our heads and we'll be fine. You'll notice here he has basically 1500 range. There you go. All right, there's an example. All right, I'm not joking, people. It's dangerous. Reflecting that is like everything to this fight. If you can reflect that, you can kill him really nice and quickly. All of our stuff's back here. I don't particularly care that Kaith and Zodra are kind of dead. Here, let's see what we got. Rifle turret up.
Infuriate.
Let's get a good reflect. Let's see what we can do here. Another one.
Feedback loop initiated.
There, we didn't quite get the timing, but it's okay. Another reflect. Here, this reflect was pointless, so I'm going to immediately bring the turret back in, because what he was doing was his pull animation, which is a bit like the point-blank AoE one we were talking about before. Here, I'm not going to worry because his brake bar is about to go down with that chill, and he'll get interrupted in the middle, as you can see there, which is exactly what happened, and we can just pressure him a bit harder. This guy's really squishy. Now we're going to supply crate on him. I don't really care that we waste the brake bar damage. What I'm looking for is those bubbles to reflect. They didn't, but that's fine. Our cooldowns are returning, so rifle turret in anticipation of his next attack. He turned to the supply crate. That's frustrating. Let's do the rocket turret instead. Here we go. This is a good one. Perfect. And look at the CC and the brake bar damage we get on him there as well. Good. Pick up the rifle turret. Heal turret will be next. Never mind, he's doing that. So there, you'll notice he's sending out those, like, projectiles. Those really slow, dusty-looking ones. There, he used it on a turret nearby. Similar to the pistol user before as well, by the way. We can kind of, like, just utilize obstruction. If we stand behind the rifle turret like this. But he will kill them so quickly with so much damage, you kind of want to be careful of that. There, you can see he tried to pull us 3 times. But the turret ate the 3 pulls. Here, this is good. And down he goes. Perfect. Oh, that felt really good. Really rewarding fights here with the reflects. Reflects were so overpowered in Guild Wars 2, but also kind of really rewarding to play with. So I can see how the devs kept them. This is bad. He's going to snapshot us. There it is. Pulling back. I don't have the girls with me, so he's not going to stop. And we don't have any really good brake bar damage. I'm not scared to flee, right? Like, we will run away from him, like, in full. Okay, this might be alright now. So here he's resetting, but he's not allowed to regenerate health. So we can kind of cheese him a little bit. You might consider all of this cheese, to be honest. There, we got that. I need reflex, man. Oh, shit, we didn't have the... rocket.
Initiated.
Okay. Good. We get 2 grenade reflex there. And possibly with the Amoeba overcharge shot. Oh, he evaded. Oh, 10 out of 10. And then I evaded. Oh, he evaded our CC with his glue shot. Leap back. He killed the dog. That bought us some time, though. The poison, again, you kind of... this will be good. Here, we can reflect the everything, basically. That's one. And here's the other one. Good. Snapshot will miss there. And down goes Kudu. Oh, wait. He's not dead. Kudu? Get back here. The stupid teleportation device.
You always were crafty, Zojja. But craftiness is not true genius.
Come down and fight, you coward.
Let me think about it. No, I don't think so. But if you survive long enough to follow me, I'd love to show you my latest creation.
Oh, I want to follow you. Okay, so he goes through. Oh, yeah, there's this mini encounter here as well where a ton of golems get summoned. They're nowhere near the threat that the old ones would be. It's just Kudu flees through the gate. And I guess the devs figure, hey, it makes sense he'd send some reinforcements at us. Really, we want them balled up. So what I'm going to do is go this way. I'm going to stand here. The Mark 2 is the really dangerous one. And we'll supply crate as they come in like this. This way we get to hit them all. And any rockets and things, and we can blow them up. Ow. Okay, that knocked back. I would have thought he'd be blind. Here you go. So the smoke bomb there, blinding them. Exactly what we want. We got the 25 might. Yeah, we're getting pummeled there a bit, but they're all dying quick enough. Now, the self-repair golems do heal, but we have enough CC and stuff to break them. And there you go. That's encounter... 1 done of the latest parts of the dungeon. There's 2 encounters left basically now. So there we get a box of lab equipment off of Kudu's golems. Here another grand chest drops. We get to here we go. So our inventory's full here. Let's deposit here. Now I still have these as well. If I was going to run into real problems, I was going to use my armor and strength booster. I guess we'll save them for a later dungeon since so far I might be wrong. I might be very, very, very wrong here. We're going to salvage everything down. But I think we might be able to make it here. These final 2 encounters, the penultimate one upcoming and the one after, they're not that bad. So here we have some inquests, but you'll notice not an elite or anything. I don't think these guys were expecting us to run on through like this. We can continue sinking into the depths. Everywhere you look, there's gates that can open in the dungeons. So, for example, that gate over there, you get to experience in the dungeon. This guy is an elite, so let's deal with this grenadier. And I think we've got an elite golem there at the Mark II as well. Can easily kill us. They're just as dangerous as any other elite in the game. So, let's not mince words, and let's just deal with it. So here I'm in a great position. Oh, I thought I was. A lot of this grenadier's stuff was hitting the girder above us because of where I was stood. So he wasn't able to hit us. Okay, down he goes.
Enough violence for now.
Lots more loot. Still no dialogue updates. Like Keith is still saying we should locate Zojja as quickly as possible. I wonder if the devs did write dialogue, because it's such an important story instance to be able to talk about the things we've seen in that cutscene and stuff. I wonder if the devs did actually write it. It's just bugged since sometime before pre-release, and they've never realized, even though it's there in the back end of the code somewhere. I'd love the devs to look at that and figure that out. Okay, so 4 more elite golems. This is what I would consider the penultimate encounter, by the way. It's basically getting across this flame bridge, or the iron bridge over lava down there. So I'm just going to clear all of these out, and then we'll look at the big bad one at the very back. Using overcharge shot there to knock the 2 golems next to each other so that I can more convincingly cleave them down. By turbocharging our sanguinary array. Ooh, yeah, see? This is just basic trash in the dungeon. If we had gone down there, we could have... Let's stop him healing. If we had gone down there, we probably would have rallied, so it wouldn't have been that bad. Alright, so with those guys dealt with, we can move across the lava here as it flows down. Now, you might be fascinated to realize that way back at the start of the dungeon, the lava flow, if you can charge down it, like there were players who would be Norn and use like bear form and stuff to charge through. I think you can come all the way. It's the same thing. You can come all the way down. But there's just such massive damage, you'd really need a very specific setup. I'm not sure what can do it these days in Guild Wars. But yeah, right, here we have the penultimate boss. It's a champion sentry golem. Everything about it is exactly the same as normal golems, like the elite ones we were fighting. It's just he's way tankier and does way more damage. So it's going to be the same strategy for me. He's going to use a Gatling gun, and I'm going to reflect it. And I'm going to make sure the reflects keep rolling by picking up the old turrets. And we're going to CC him as much as possible.
Accelerate!
When we don't have reflex remaining. And that's it. That's the whole fight, really. He'll take ages, but I'll see you in a second. So here you can see what I described. We drop a turret, we create our little nest of machines that reflect and stuff, and then when we get hit, look at this hive of med packs just right in front of our feet, and mines as well. If, you know, something tried to melee us now, they'd have a hell of a thing to get through this bunker down. Oof, he managed to get a rocket through. He managed to get one. Oh, right at the end there. And down he goes.
Silence for now.
That is enough violence for now. We get more lab equipment, more stuff. I will note, by the way, where this fight takes place, the devs built this really cool little arena area. There's all kinds of like gangways and sidewalks. It feels like FPS environment designed to me a little bit here. Where, you know, presumably maybe they had an idea mobs would spawn on the sides and they'd shoot down at you and you'd have to clear them out or something. But in the end, you don't really ever climb around on this, ever. This room, this area we're in right now, is really only ever visited at this part of story mode. So explorable is what most players do to farm and stuff at endgame. We don't really play story mode much, so this is quite a rare, special place, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's actually a lot of areas of this dungeon specifically that you can see but never open up. I think there's a point of interest you can never really get. I think that there's the remains of what looks like a jumping puzzle that you can't really get. Loads of stuff. Now, with that said, that's the penultimate instance done. We have one more engagement right at the bottom of the dungeon, and it's fantastic. It appeared, much like the Shatterer, in some of the earliest media for Guild Wars 2 as a big epic aspect of this MMO. You guys ready for it? Hey Kudu, I see you. The Iron Forgeman. It's back! It's here in Guild Wars 2! The Forgeman's Chamber. Look at it! So, in the original, you could be in this giant chamber. It looked kind of different, but you would actually walk around on the gangways and stuff that was super high. If you look up visually, it's quite faithful to the original game. Yeah, the big boss at the bottom of Sorrow's Furnace, way back when, was the Iron Forgeman. Back then, we saw it was powered by a magical type of creature called a djinn that is nowhere to be seen in Guild Wars 2 so far, really. But it looks like 250 years later, the ruined, battered, beaten up thing that was left at the bottom has now been found by Kudu and rebuilt, repurposed with the assistance of dredge technology. Maybe the dredge found it down here after the dwarves left and Kudu figured that out via the inquest and hatched this nefarious plan. He's combining the Iron Forgeman then with Kudu's, with Snaf's discoveries. And kind of just, that's the thing with Kudu. He just steals and he just coasts off of other people's work. It's even ancient dwarven work here, Stone Summit work. That's what he's good at. And dredge. You're not going to activate that thing, are you? Surely not.
Do you like my latest? It's better than anything our Master Snaf ever did. I have harnessed dragon energies to power it.
You've perverted Snaf's theories, and you will be punished for this.
I may be punished, but not by you. I have places to go and people to kill. but I leave my creation here to keep you company. Ta.
Dun, dun, dun. Look at how cool this is. Look at it standing up here. Oh, God, it's not going to attack me straight away, is it? It better not. Let's just stay back here for a second. There it is, the Iron Forgeman. It's a beautiful, intricate, amazing thing. The devs put tons of work into it. Moves differently. You never find any creatures, anything like this. And yes, it does laser beam. That's why I came to hide to the side here. Let's move on up. Now, the fight will very quickly kill us and finish us off if I'm not careful. My main fear is that I'll get so distracted talking to you guys about lore that I'll just mess up something basic here. If I play well, I'll be able to solo this. Even in kind of poor gear, you can do it. But we have to be cautious. So, we're going to kill this elemental. We'll watch for that laser beam coming down here, and we'll kill this one here. These are called flame jellies. And the laser beam is basically going to insta-kill us. But if we hide behind barriers, such as this one, we can sustain. So that's mechanic number 1, hiding from the laser beam. To add problems to the mix of doing that is that these jellies immobilize on attack. So we need to, make sure that they're cleared so they're not immobilizing us and getting us caught. The other thing is he alternates between the laser and dumping buckets of lava, very similar to Guild Wars 1, behind the barriers. So if you're standing behind the barrier when he's not using the laser, the lava will dump on you and insta-kill you. But if you're standing, you gotta stand in the right place while constantly killing jellies. Okay, so that's how we defend ourselves from him. You can't hide down there because the laser beam is supposed to kill you over there. All the way around on these ramps, there's no way out really. So that's how we defend. How do we kill? Well, we can shoot him. As you can see here, he has a target. If we get our rifle out, 308 damage. He's still at 100, but you'll notice he's ultra tanky. You can kill him from conventional damage. You can. It's totally possible. It would just take ages and definitely a party of 5 and then some. So what we're going to do instead is something else. Notice how he dumps the buckets of lava behind the barriers. And if you notice carefully, that's actually where the jellies are coming from. Watch. Oh, well, he's not doing it yet. But basically, the jellies will land where the lava is that he dumps out of the bucket. So let's watch. There's the bucket. He leans up, he grabs it, he paws, the bucket comes down. It would kill us if we were standing there. We're standing on the edge of death, and the jelly spawns. So 4 jellies spawn, thus immobilizing, by the way, ready for the next laser beam, each time he does that. So it's very, very intelligent. Like the Luda narrative there, the matching of the story and the theming and the idea of how it all works is perfect here. I really enjoy it. Then what we're going to do is drop some turrets to reflect to make sure this guy's fine and doesn't hurt us too much. Now, when the jellies die, they drop boulders. I mean, they're molten rock, right? And if we throw a boulder at the Iron Forgeman, now you notice we can do some damage. By summoning turrets on there, I am getting them broken, by the way. They're tanky, but they're not tanky enough to survive that, so they will eventually break. So you can see I've got tons of boulders around me now. Basically, just throw them. The thing with the challenge here is... And if I drop my supply crate over there, that might be okay. Like, he does quite well to break all of Brack's stuff. The challenge here is that when you throw a boulder, it roots you in place. You can't move anymore. So if you pick the wrong time to throw the boulder, you might get yourself killed by a jelly or by one of his other mechanics. So here, he's about to drop a pot of oil. And it was kind of tricky for me to pick that boulder up before the oil came down. Or that was the fear, you know. The other thing is your allies will die very quickly, as you can see, and the game will keep trying to get you to res them instead of actually throwing boulders. That's most of the fight, really. The other scary thing is there's a risk of falling off. If I use overcharge shot here, for example, I would knock myself into the lava and it's pretty much game over. I'd take a ton of full damage and then I'd have to like try and wade out. You'll notice I know exactly kind of when to dodge the lasers. It's just because I'm a little bit more used to like his patterns. So yeah, you got to be careful. The flame jellies do not CC. I like to imagine that there was a version of this fight maybe the devs were playing with where they did. They knocked you over and things. But they don't, and they're generally quite forgiving, honestly, as a mechanic. And yeah, you'd have 5 players running around throwing these boulders. It's going to take me a while because I have to throw every single boulder all on my own. I can't rely on, you know, friends to do it for me. But that's why the fight is kind of doable, because it's not really normal Guild Wars combat, is it? It's a special engagement, and dungeons do very rarely and on occasionally do this. One of the first examples we ever saw that dungeons would exist in Guild Wars 2 had trailers and media showing the Iron Forgeman off. Here I'm going to get a bucket on me, and the mob is snagging me. Was showing this guy off, so I wonder if the devs had a plan to do this in every single one, and then they just didn't have time in the end? I don't know. There's one final thing that I want to talk about, and that's the lore. In that cutscene, Kudu suggested how he built this was by infusing it with dragon energies. By teleporting off again, by the way. So you notice we do not defeat Kudu here. He's left. Infusing dragon energies. And you might be like, well, what's that all about? Well, remember, at the high level, and if we can call anyone high level inquest, I think Kudu counts. At the high level, we keep seeing the inquest are messing with that stuff. It was dead inquest in that Kraukatoric crystal cave in Ascalon. It was inquest to do with the Thormanova reactor disaster, which was dealing with draconic and chaotic magics, okay? And now we hear that Kudu is doing that, dealing with that as well. These things are all linked. They are all in the background, and you kind of have to combine story, open world, and dungeon lore to really get a grips with it. But later, some stuff will come up, and hopefully you guys are ready for it. Like, they've been leading a trail. There's a breadcrumb to follow here. Kudu is doing something with dragon magic, and we haven't found out where that is yet. But yeah, a couple more boulders, and I think we'll have him down. Beautiful guy. Hopefully you feel I've shown you everything. The shadows are amazing in the background here as well. Gotta be careful dodging as well, that you don't dodge off the edge. You know, they could have mixed it up as well at various health thresholds. Maybe some of these barriers get destroyed and move people together. But I think the idea is that as a 5-man party, they want everyone spread out all over. Because if you're all spread out, you can all kill one jelly each and then deal with it. 7% health.
Accelerate.
One more boulder, and I think we should be okay. Let's supply crate. And here we go. 1% health.
I've been immobilized.
Yeah, look at that. Oh. And check it out. He does a Terminator reference. Oh, as he gives us a thumbs up as he falls into the lava. The sound effects there are so cool, by the way. If you play that yourselves, put the effect slider up.
I can't believe Kudu fused the energy of a draconic minion into the shell of an ancient dredge creation.
What did you mean when you said he perverted Snaff's ideas?
Snaff discovered that the Elder Dragons radiated their own unique energy, but he felt that this draconic energy was too unstable to work with.
Kudu and the inquest seem to disagree with that assessment.
Kudu was Snaff's apprentice before me. I don't doubt he will continue these experiments.
We should get Air and the others. Get their help.
They're useless, but go after her if you must. I am going to move forward and defeat Kudu once and for all.
Listen, I'm not being funny, Destiny's Edge. We're forming a pact. We reclaimed land from an elder dragon that no one's seen happen. Well, actually, mind you, Destiny's Edge, just to be clear, Destiny's Edge as an adventuring band basically accomplished as just a small crew of people what we did on Claw Island. We had to get so many people and resources together to take out a dragon champion. These guys literally just wandered the world taking champions out until they went for an elder dragon itself, Kraukatoric, and realized, oh my god, an elder dragon is not the same ballpark as a champion, and all the disaster happened. These guys are badass, and I'm sorry, but come on, we're making progress here. You guys aren't doing jack. Poor Kaith, she's still trying. The first thing she says as soon as this was over, let's get the band back together. Nope, Zodja won't have it. And once again, at the end, we don't get to talk to them. Ah, real shame. Because we completed a dungeon, we get a level. We're up to level 72. The game is teaching us about world bosses. We've already seen a few of these. Tyria is rife with powerful creatures. Defeat them to receive chests containing rare equipment and crafting mats. You're guaranteed a rare item at least once a day, so a great place to go to kill things. And they're starting to give us exotic gear as well, now that we're quite high level. Of reasonable stats as well. I think I'll go for the legs there. So, kind of beautiful. And there we have it. Tons of boulders around. What a gorgeous room. The Iron Forgeman down here. Special bonus chest as well, just for story mode here. We get some gold, a single copper out of it, some more gear, a bag of coins, and yeah, the shadows, man. Oh, what a room. So there you have it, guys. Sorrow's Embrace. What is the story with Destiny's Edge still? They've made 0 progress. Great. Ritlock, Logan, everyone, you've got to pull your finger out and do something. Until then, I suppose let's go to Concordia and deal with someone who's really got his head screwed on. And that's Traherne. I'll see you guys next time for that. Oh, I'm so happy I didn't die. Yes, we're here! That's 4 out of 7 done! Yes! Across the big cavern, Nim could see the twinkle of daylight. A way out. But he'd never get there. Even if he didn't fall to his doom, there was easily 1,000 rodent men in the way. The stone cracked and groaned just as the last shards of rock holding him up collapsed. A rope, no, a scarf, flumped down to hang in the air beside him. Poisey! Nim gasped, reaching for it with joy. He clung desperately to the thin thread of hope as the earth carver toppled down to shatter on the floor of the Skrit city cave. Poisey! Nim scrambled up the scarf to a ledge further up the wall. Crawling over the lip, he faced the Asura there with glee. You saved me! I knew that being on the same crew still meant something to you, Poisey. With a gasp, Nim froze. You! Dlix smiled, leveling the decrystalline etherizer. If I shoot you with this, you'll topple down into our vicious little friends. You know how clever they are when they're all bunched up like that. And there's never been as many of them together as there are here in Skritsburg, I'll wager. Slowly, Nim raised his hands in a gesture of submission. Master Boyk didn't know what he was doing coming down here. We don't have to end up like him. I'm afraid we do. Now, give me your shoe, and I'll be on my way. Gulping, Nim shook his head. I won't help you. Whatever you're doing, you won't get away with it, Dlix. One of us will make it to the surface. One of us already has. With that, Dlix pulled the trigger, and the ball of crystal flared. Nim's body tensed, arcing, but at the last moment, Dlix grabbed the other Asura by the belt and jerked him away from the open height. Below, 1,000 bright eyes flashed viciously in the darkness, and 1,000 hissing whispers echoed against the stone. Leaning Nim's unconscious body safely against the cavern wall, Dlix slid off Nim's shoe and shoved it into his belt bag with the one he'd taken from Poisey. Only one member of the crew left, he muttered, checking a tracking light on his bracer. No time to waste.